Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today, I wanted to do sort of a recap of what I read for Big Books of Summer. This is an annual event created by my friend Sue Jackson. And this year it has been co-hosted by another friend, Melinda, at A Web of Stories. And the goal of Big Books of Summer is to read books that are 400 pages or longer between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Well, back in May, before Memorial Day, I made a video of what I proposed to read for Big Books of Summer. And now, as it's almost Labor Day, I thought I would make another video on what I said I was going to read that I did read, a couple other things that I added on that I didn't originally plan to read, but which also qualify as big books, and then a few things that I did not read. So first off, I'd like to talk about what I did read for Big Books of Summer. I was participating in the Summer of Steinbeck, and I read 4 novels for the Summer of Steinbeck, and 2 of those fit the Big Books of Summer criteria. I reread Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath. This is a book that I used to teach. It's a book that I've read many times, and this definitely qualified as a big book at almost 600 pages long. This was our group read for June. Additionally, in July, we read East of Eden, and this was another reread for me. And this is a big book that clocks in again at, let's see, about 600 pages. Yep, 601 pages. So this was another wonderful reread. I also and those were 2 that I said I was going to read in May. During the spring, I was in the middle of the Finnegans Wake read along, and I finished this. I was reading this in May and in June, and I finished it in June. So that's another big book, and this clocks in at 628 pages. Again, the book I said I would never read, which I have now read, and I will probably read again. Additionally, I was reading, and I finished this summer, Richard Ellmann's Biography of Joyce. This was something that I had read parts of at earlier times in my life, but I never read the whole biography until this summer. So this is definitely a big book of the summer, and this comes in at almost 900 pages. Now, a book that I started to read, which I am still reading, and I don't know if I'll finish it by Labor Day, but I'm well into it. This is a new book. This is Zachary Leader's biography of Richard Ellmann. So this is the biography of the biographer. This is Ellmann's Joyce, the biography of a masterpiece and its maker. And I don't know if I'm going to finish it by this weekend, but if not, I'll be finishing it early in September. So that was one that I had just learned about as the Big Books of Summer Challenge was beginning, and one that I'm still working at. Now, there was a big book that I proposed to read back in May, and that was the John Berryman's poetry collection, Dream Songs. And I decided not to continue with that. I was in a group read, and that's one that I did not finish. I did, however, read Paul Mariani's biography of John Berryman, and that was called Dream Song, The Life of John Berryman. That was a book I had from the library. So while I didn't finish Dream Songs, I did finish the biography of Berryman. Now, other books that I completed, Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. This is new contemporary science fiction. This was a book that I read as a buddy read with my friend Lecton, and this was also the July read for the new Futurian Science Fiction Fellowship. This is a 2023 science fiction novel. I also read this for June for Pride Month. This was one that I did propose to read back in May, and this is one that I completed, and this was, let's see, not including the acknowledgments, 436 pages. So this was a big book of summer also. Now, two that I read that were big books that I didn't predict that I was going to read back in May. And these are both books that I've reviewed on the channel. One was Fredrick Backmann's newest novel, My Friends. This was my in-person book group reading for June into July. And this is 400, I think it's like 436 pages. So this also qualified. Didn't feel like a big book. This was a really, really quick read. But it is. It was another big book. And I did a separate review of this novel on the channel. And then another book that I didn't predict that I was going to read back in May is Stephen King's Duma Key. And this was a buddy read that I did with my friend Renee at Beyond Books. And we both of us had this book highly recommended to us. Kevin Toll at Kevin Toll Reads had recommended this as one of his favorite Stephen King novels. And so Renee and I decided to read it as a buddy read, and we both reviewed it just last week on the channel. We were reading it during the month of August. And this is well over 600 pages in hardcover, and Renee had the paperback. Hers was well over 700 pages. So definitely another big book. So those are the big books that I completed. One that I'm still in the middle of and trying to complete by Labor Day. And then there were two that I had predicted that I was going to read back in May, and I have consciously decided to move these to other months. And they are Anthony Trollope's Barchester Towers. So this would have been a big book of the summer at well over 500 pages. I had read The Warden during the month of May with my friend Jack at Spread Book Joy. And we decided that we're going to continue with the series, and we're going to read Barchester Towers, but we're going to read this in October. We decided to read this as part of Victober. So that was a big book, a predicted big book of the summer that I have decided, or we decided to move to to the fall. And then another book that I had thought I was going to read this summer, but I've decided to move it to September, and that's Adrian Tchaikovsky's Children of Ruin. I had read Children of Memory. It was a buddy read with my friend Lectin back in, I think, April. And it was also the reading for the new Futurian Fellowship for that month. And I wanted to continue with the series. Lectin's already finished the series. But I decided to move this, the second one in the series, to September, because I'm participating in the October reading event in September, where we're reading books about cephalopods. And I understand that while Children of Memory featured spiders, this one features an octopus society. So this seemed to be a perfect fit for that reading event. So I made a conscious decision to save this until the cephalopod reading event. So that's what I've been reading for this big book of the summer reading challenge. It's a lot of big books, and really only one DNF, and then 2 conscious decisions to move books to the fall. But I think I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's 9 big books of the summer, 9 books that were 400 pages or more. So I feel pretty good about that. That seems like a pretty good big book of the summer reading event for me. This is the second time that I've participated in this event, and I'm fairly sure I'll be back again next summer as well. So thank you, Melinda and Sue, for sponsoring this event again. Thank you to all of my buddy readers, who read these books along with me. So that's, although summer doesn't really officially end until later in September, the big book challenge will conclude this weekend. So as always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.